Hey, Frank, what's up, man? Been a while, been a minute since I made a video. Where have I been? I've been just chilling, bro. Just chilling. No, I got places to go, people to see, things to do. But hey, here I am, better late than never. And what am I going to talk about today? I'm going to talk about TradingView and some real simple stuff. And I got inspired. I've been talking to some traders that are actually really good, profitable traders. But then I'll ask very simple questions about like, well, how do you read a candlestick? And they're just like, it's not there. Not to say that you need to be super technical and know everything, but it might help. And like always, I mean, this video is just me spouting off. I don't make bold predictions. I don't pretend to know what the market's going to do, but I do like technical analysis because I do think that it puts probabilities in your favor. Simply put. So what are we looking at here? So this is an S&P chart. So this is a daily chart, S&P. You can see over here, I got SPX selected, 1 day time frame. And I'm going to go and zoom in a little bit here and show you what I'm seeing and how to interpret some basic stuff. So each one of these candles, so if you have the 1 day time frame selected, each candle is going to represent 1 day of time. If you have the 1 hour chart selected, each one of these candles is going to represent 1 hour of time. And if you have the 5 minute, so on and so forth, you get where I'm going. Okay, so let's go back to the 1 day. So what do these candles, so I'm going to be real basic. So we got bullish candles, which are the greenish candles, and then the bearish candles are the red. Okay. So candlesticks have two main components. There's the body, which is this, and then there's the wick, which are these wicks, like candle wicks, right? So the wicks represent the low, and then the top of the wick represents the high, and it's the same thing whether it's a bullish candle or bearish. However, the distinction is with the interpretation of the body. So with a bullish candle, the open is at the bottom of the body and the close is at the top, where it's inverse for a bearish candle. The open is the top of the body, and then the bottom of the body represents the close. So on this day here, the price closed right here at the bottom of that body, but throughout the day, it's all lows to down to here and then highs up to here. And then conversely with the bullish candle, the open of the day was here, the high was here, the day saw highs up to here and lows to here. Okay, Candlesticks 101, knocked it out, boom. So another thing that I like to look at is trend lines. So trend lines, I think, are helpful to plot out and see trends visually. So you can see here, this is the S&P. If we go back far enough, I mean, this thing is just like, I mean, this is like a march, man. This thing just goes up, comes in, goes up, comes in, goes up, comes in, comes up. And you can see here, it's like this has been a long trend, then it comes down, long trend comes in. It looks like the trends are getting a little bit shorter, but again, this is a long period of time. So let's go to the monthly chart here and see if we can see anything interesting. So you can see, wow, look at that big old ramp, right? It's a big old ski ramp. We're going to whoosh. We might come back at some point, right? But let's draw a trend line. So how do you even do this? So let's draw it from a significant event, right? So a significant event would have been something like here, like the crash of '09. So let's start there. So I'm going to go and use the ray. I prefer ray for my trend lines. It's a little less work. So we're going to click this, and you're going to go from the start of a trend. So like right here, and then you go to you know, maybe this high here. You could try that out, right? Does that show anything? Yeah, I mean, it does. So if we connect this low here to this high here, which is the, you know, recent highs, you can see that price breached above and then came back down and used this trend line as support. Okay, Cool, right? You can also use these trend lines on like, more recent time frames. So you could maybe think about doing something like, let's see, get rid of that. You could try it from like, maybe we could try like here, up into here, something like this, right? That might be something. You can see this was the start of a trend, then it came back down. Look at, you had another connection here, another connection here. So this might be a valid trend line too. That's an idea. And then let's go more recent. So let's try this business here. Let's try drawing a trend on this business, and let's see what we get. So we're going to take this trend line here from this, and then we're going to go into here, right, into this, connecting these. Okay, connecting these candles together here. That looks pretty good. So you connect the low, the start of the trend, then it came in, and it looks like it's above it. So trend lines, of course, part art, part science, part subjectivity, right? And does it mean that it's going to come down and hit it exactly and bounce up? It could. It's valid. So it's not guess. So the idea of this is that you're not just looking at something and guessing, where do I buy? It's like, this could be a level you could get in at, like realistically. And something to know is that trend lines like this, like a bullish trend line, this line could be interpreted as support. But just know this, that support also becomes resistance, and the inverse. Sometimes resistance will become support, right? So at some point, this might break through. It could. And then if it consolidates and attempts to break through again, this might become resistance. Now, you can also do the same thing for the upside. So you can see we made all-time highs right here. And it looks like we had all-time highs, and then it came down, and then we had a lower high. So let's see what happens if we connect those with the trend line. All right, and we'll connect this up together. Let's maybe make it a little bit more. There we go. So we're getting both this candle and this candle in on that trend. And it looks to me like we have a wedge forming. So it's sort of like toothpaste, when you squeeze a tube, you squeeze it and then the toothpaste comes shooting out. It's starting to, get condensed here. So at some point it might squeeze to the upside or it might squeeze to the downside. So let's keep an eye on this. Okay, that's trend lines. Takes a while to kind of spot them and to see them. I'm not perfect with them by any means, but I do like trying to find where potential trends could be. It's always recommended to look at other indicators and see if they converge with the trend lines, therefore reinforcing any thesis you might have about either entering in at one or exiting at one, or whatever you're thinking of doing at one, right? So you want to get another indicator to corroborate that information. So speaking of indicators, so how would we put one on a chart? Okay, so let's look at let's look at something else here. Let's look at Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin all-time history index, and let's see what we see here. So if I move out, oh wow, look at this. Okay, I'm kind of going a little bit off-road here, but this to me looks like a head and shoulders pattern. I don't know if you see that, but let me get my drawing tool. So, okay, yeah. So if I draw this and this and this, that to me looks like head and shoulders. So shoulder, head, shoulder. That's not good. That's a bearish pattern. An inverse head and shoulders is bullish. Head and shoulders is bearish. If this plays out and this is real, this is not good for Bitcoin. Just keep that in mind. I didn't mean to sidetrack there, but maybe I'll do a different video on that sometime. But what I wanted to do is stick to the trend line idea here and show you something. Okay, so this is something that I was looking at earlier. And if you were to take a trend line from the December 2017 highs connecting with the April 2021 highs. Look at that. Connect that high to that high, and look at it, connect to all these highs here. You would have been able to call the top here. Pretty cool, right? So if you had this trend line, you know, anywhere from like 2021, right, connected to this, you'd have been able to say, yeah, I think we're going to top right about there. And so at some point it might come back up and retest this. It might be resistance at that point. If it breaks it to the upside and it comes back down, it might become support, right? So just something to think about. Now, how do you put indicators on a chart in TradingView if you don't know how to do it? So it's right here, this icon here. If you hover, it says indicators, metrics, and strategies. You click on that, and then you can select from a bunch of different, you know, different indicators, right? So I'm going to start with the simplest one of them all, the simple moving average. What is the simple moving average? So the simple moving average is just simply the average price of any given instrument, stock, or in this case, crypto, over the past time frame that it's selected at. So for instance, I think it's by default, let's verify this. Okay, so 9 is the length. So what that means is that this blue line represents the average price of Bitcoin over the last 9 months, because I have month selected. So if I collect day, it would be the average price of Bitcoin over the last 9 days. Okay, so let's do a couple things. First of all, let's change this color to yellow. And let's make it a little bit thicker so it's easier to see for you. And let's change the input to 50. Okay, so I'm going to change that to 50. And now what we're looking at is the yellow line representing the average price of Bitcoin over the past 50 days. Day selected. The input on the simple moving average is 50. It represents the average price of Bitcoin over the past 50 days. Cool. Now, you can also add another indicator to a chart if you have one there already, right? So how do you do that? Same way you did it before. So you click this again, and you can add the same one or a different one. We're going to add the same one, so another simple moving average, and I'm just going to click on it. And when I do that, you can see over here on the left, it's made this new one here, just like it did before. And it probably, yeah, 9 again. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this to 200. 200 simple moving average. I'm going to change the color to white so it's easier to see. And now you see I have 2 simple moving averages. That looks more gray than white. Did I select gray? No, that's white. Okay, sure enough. So now I have 2 simple moving averages. The yellow line represents the average price of Bitcoin over the past 50 days, and the white line represents the average price of Bitcoin over the past 200 days. Why did I select these 2 specific simple moving averages? That's because there is a strategy some people employ that use these 2 indicators, and it's called the golden cross and the death cross. Okay, so what does that mean? So, and how do you know what a golden cross is and a death cross? Okay, so when the yellow line, the 50, crosses the 200 to the upside, that's known as a golden cross. When the yellow line, the 50 simple moving average, crosses over the white line, which is a 200 to the downside, that's the death cross. Golden cross indicates possible further upside direction, and conversely, death cross indicates possible move to the downside. And you can see it here, right? So as the yellow line crossed the white line, Bitcoin continued to march up. And then here, when it crossed under the white line, we've been in a bearish pattern ever since. So it looks like we're still in one. Something to keep in mind. So if this yellow line starts creeping up and moves above this white line, we might have a change in direction there. So that's golden cross, death cross, how to put indicators on the chart. And I'm going to stop there because I know that was a lot of information and you probably have better things to do than watch YouTube, maybe, right? You got to maybe go clean your house, vacuum your floor, maybe go spend some time with loved ones, sky's the limit. Okay. So until next time, have a good one.